Raf, bring us up to speed here. What's the very latest in terms of where you are, including in terms of death toll and how many people we understand to have been kidnapped?
Yeah, Kristen, well, even as the president was speaking at the White House, this violent, chaotic situation continues to unfold here in southern Israel. Literally in the last minute, we were just seeing bright lights of the Israeli Iron Dome missile interceptors streaking through the sky, taking down a barrage of rockets that have just been fired from Gaza. This, Kristen, is a nightmare that Israelis do not seem able to wake up from. This is, on the one hand, a very large-scale surprise attack with a very large-scale loss of life. The official figures from the Israeli emergency services are that 70 Israelis are confirmed dead, more than 800 are wounded. But I can tell you, people here expect that that number is going to rise further still, just based on these truly harrowing images we are seeing on social media of bodies, both Israeli civilians and soldiers, in the streets. But, Kristen, at the same time, this is also a hostage crisis on a scale Israel has perhaps never seen before. And I want to be really specific about what I'm talking about here. I just got off the phone with an Israeli security official who tells me there are 2 hostage situations still unfolding inside of Israeli communities down by the Gaza border. So these are Palestinian gunmen who remain holed up, who have Israeli hostages at gunpoint. They are surrounded by Israeli special forces who are trying to free them. But, Kristen, the more complicated part of this is that there are, according to the Israeli military, both Israeli soldiers and Israeli civilians who have been taken captive inside of Israel and then taken back over the border into Gaza, and they are now in captivity under the control of Hamas and Palestinian Islamic Jihad inside of Gaza. And, Kristen, it is that dynamic that is the key part of trying to figure out where this situation goes next. The Israeli military is making clear that all options are on the table, including a full-scale ground invasion of Gaza to bring its people home. And the fact that there are Israelis, both civilians and soldiers, being held inside of Gaza tonight will weigh very, very heavily on the minds of decision makers from Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu on downwards as they try to plan their next steps. Kristen.
And, Raf, we have less than a minute here, but just talk about what potential next steps could be. We understand there is discussion potentially of a unity government. Of course, that comes against the backdrop of a fair amount of instability and backlash amidst Prime Minister Netanyahu's judicial reforms, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So in terms of what's happening right now, we are seeing Israeli aircraft striking inside of the Gaza Strip. The Palestinian Health Ministry says more than 200 people have been killed so far inside of Gaza from those strikes. We don't know what the breakdown is of civilians and militants, but the next step, potentially, Kristen, is preparing for an all-out ground invasion. Kristen.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.